Lil Duval has built a reputation as the funniest, cockiest, and most unpredictable voice in the culture, but behind the viral memes and reckless jokes is a man whose loudest laughs may be hiding the deepest truths. Is it all just comedy, or is he telling us exactly who he is, and we're just too busy laughing to catch it? Let's take a deep dive into the mind of Lil Duval. Whether you first knew him from BET's Comic View, MTV's Guy Code, or that viral moment when he said he's living his best life, Lil Duval has always been more than a comic. He's been a culture critic in a comedian's body. He's one of the most opinionated, unfiltered, and unexpectedly impactful comedians of his generation. But just because he's funny doesn't mean he's simple. Today we're diving deep into the layers behind the laugh of Roland, Lil Duval, Powell. The man who talks like he owns the room, gives back like a king, but still might be hiding something behind those shades and that permanent smirk. Let's start with how deeply the culture embraces Lil Duval. He's not some too-good-for-the-hood comedian. He is the hood, and that's why people love him. He shows up, he supports black businesses, he bigs up artists and underdogs. He's not afraid to speak up, and he's not afraid to help out behind the scenes. He's constantly reposting small businesses, shouting out hometown legends, and reminding his followers to focus on what really matters in life: peace, purpose, and staying off the government's radar. He doesn't move with a PR team or try to clean up his brand because he's always been authentic. But don't get it twisted. Duval is generous, not gullible. You can't play him. If he feels like you're trying to take advantage, he'll call you out with a smile and 5 million followers watching. That's part of his charm. He'll uplift you and roast you in the same breath, and somehow people love him even more for it. This balance of being a man of the people while maintaining personal boundaries is rare. It's what makes him lovable, but also a little intimidating. Lil Duval doesn't just tell jokes, he tells truths, at least his version of them. Whether it's relationships, gender roles, mental health, or rappers being too emotional, Duval always has something to say. He's dropped entire Instagram sermons in the comments section alone, and the wild part? People are reading every word. He's the friend you hate arguing with because even when he's wrong, he's still kinda right, or at least funny enough to make you question your point. But let's keep it real. Being that opinionated comes with a few side effects. He dominates the room. He rarely backs down, even when called out. He jokes about serious topics and serious about topics you wish he wouldn't joke about. And most importantly, he knows he's right, even when he isn't. Some say he's arrogant, others say he's just unfiltered. But the real question is, why does he need to be so loud all the time? If there's one thing you can always count on from Lil Duval, it's a strong opinion. He doesn't just tweet for laughs. He tweets to stir the pot, trigger reactions, and make people think, even if they don't want to. He has thoughts on everything: gender roles, dating, music, politics, social media trends, and especially what grown folks should or shouldn't be doing. And here's the kicker: he never apologizes for it. But let's look at the psychology behind that. Opinionated people like Duval often dominate conversations, speak with extreme confidence, struggle to admit when they're wrong, use their opinions as a way to define their identity. At times, it almost feels like his opinions are a wall, a loud, funny wall that keeps people from getting too close. But what happens when the opinions start sounding like personal projections? One of the most fascinating things about Lil Duval is how hard it is to tell when he's joking or when he's actually serious. He'll say something wild about dating or women or the industry, and people will go off in the comments. And then he hits them with the classic, "Y'all too sensitive, it's just a joke." But sometimes it doesn't feel like just a joke. And that's where Duval becomes a master at hiding in plain sight. Humor has always been his armor. When he says something controversial, he masks it in comedy. If people laugh, cool. If they get mad, well, is just jokes. It's the perfect shield, but it also makes people question what's real. Does Duval use comedy to express things he's too proud to admit? Is the arrogance real confidence or a cover-up? Because truthfully, the ones who laugh the loudest often hurt the most. Here's where things get tricky. With Lil Duval, it's damn near impossible to tell when he's joking or being dead serious. He'll post something like, "You too old to be in a club if your knees crack before the music drop," and the comments go nuts. Some people laugh, others get offended, and Duval, he sits back like, "I said what I said." And when the heat turns up, he brushes it off. "Y'all too sensitive, it's just jokes." But let's be real. Sometimes those jokes hit too close to home. They sound like he's using humor to mask real feelings, real frustrations. That's the thing about comedy. It's often born from pain, truth, or trauma, and the best comedians learn how to weaponize it. Duval's smart enough to know that laughter softens the blow. So whether he's dragging your favorite rapper or clowning relationship dynamics, the humor gives him a pass. But are we missing what he's really trying to say? Here's where things get astrological. Lil Duval is a proud Gemini, and if you know anything about that sign, it shows. Geminis are known for duality, two sides to their personality, sharp wit and communication skills, flipping moods like a light switch, charm mixed with restlessness, and a deep fear of being truly known. Now, think about Duval. He can go from roasting the entire internet to dropping real gems about happiness and healing in the same week. He'll joke about serious issues, but also get deeply philosophical out of nowhere. That's Gemini energy to a T. Duval's personality screams duality. Confident but possibly insecure, generous but guarded, loud but occasionally low-key, always online, always connected, but maybe searching for real connection under the surface. And like many Geminis, he's an entertainer at heart. He needs a stage. He needs people watching. But that constant need for attention can also be a sign of something deeper. Validation seeking, because when the crowd isn't laughing, who is he really? And that duality, it can hide a lot, because while one side of Duval is loud, flashy, and unapologetic, the other side might be searching for something quieter: validation, security, peace. Geminis often have a fear of being misunderstood. That could explain why Duval feels the need to say what's on his mind loudly before someone else misinterprets his silence. It's not just confidence, it's control. So why does Lil Duval remain one of the most beloved and respected voices in comedy, even when he's reckless? At the end of the day, Lil Duval is a walking contradiction, and that's exactly why we love him, because he shows up as himself, flaws and all. He's real even when he's wrong. He's hilarious even when he's offensive, and he's consistent in his energy. Love him or hate him, he says what people are afraid to say. He represents the uncle, the cousin, the friend we all got, the one who makes you laugh, gets under your skin, but still has your back when it counts. He's community-driven, culture-aware, consistently unpredictable. And in a world where so many celebrities are overly curated, Duval stays raw. But more than that, he represents something deeper for a lot of people. The man who's been through some things, the guy who learned to laugh to keep from crying, the voice that reminds you not to take life too seriously, even when it hurts. But maybe, just maybe, that rawness is his way of protecting himself. The arrogance could be insecurity. The comedy could be therapy. The loud opinions could be his way of making sure he's still being heard in a world that loves to overlook the real ones. Lil Duval doesn't pretend to be perfect. He owns his flaws, even brags about them. And maybe that honesty, flawed, funny, messy, and all, is why people still rock with him so heavy. Because underneath the cocky captions and reckless jokes is a man who never stopped being himself. And in a world of filters and fake personalities, that's rare. So the next time you scroll past a Lil Duval post and think, he's wild for this, you might be right. But take a step back and look deeper. That same wildness, that's also survival. It's a coping mechanism. It's deflection. It's confidence. It may be a cry for a connection all rolled into one. Because sometimes the loudest ones are the ones who've had to fight the hardest just to be heard. And Lil Duval, he's still standing, still laughing, still living his best life. And honestly, that's what makes him unforgettable. Because with Lil Duval, you might not always agree, but you'll always feel something. And in a world full of noise, he still finds a way to cut through it with a smile on his face and a joke you'll be quoting all week. Well, that's it for now. I'm Annie, and it was nice talking to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.